Kuna, that's right. But we'll go for the next review. So this one is Keno. Keno maybe, I think Keno's in chat. Did I already forget? Do I have any shot calling tips? As a shot caller, you're essentially taking information in from all of your players, from all of your, the people working with you, and then you have to make informed decisions based on that. Essentially, if you see a weakness in the enemy team, that's what you want to be calling out. Or the next thing you need your team to do, the next step, if you will. And it's the worst you've played in a while. All right, well, we'll have a look at it. So yeah, we'll do Keno's first because he submitted it first. So this is Keno, 2300. Let's get rid of this. Look, this orange. Blue. Blue will show up better on the map. What is he? 2300 Junkrat, Ilios, 1-3 loss, or 1-3 loss, feels bad, man. Let's see how he does. Let's see what he does. Okay, okay. All acceptable. Okay. Oh, okay, you saved yourself. I was about to say, that's right there is a good angle to get inside that building with. Good escape, I like that. Probably need the... Where's your team at? Also, don't taunt like that, because the enemy knows exactly where you're at with more detail. Good. Reaper got you, that sucks, but... Well, your team wasn't pushing in. That was the problem. So next time... because the Mercy's going to get there at the same time you're going to get there, right? So, I mean, unless your team was going in at that exact moment, the Mercy kill doesn't really matter. Now, action's going on the left. There's not much going on point. So, right now, you have no good source of information. Trap? Get him with your passive? Nope. So yeah, whenever, to go back one more death, whenever you're solo ulting, make sure your team's around to take advantage of it. I'm back in the fight. Oh, up here. My ultimate is almost ready. My rip tire is charging. My ultimate is almost ready. Fire at will.
Sterben nicht. Attack the objective. Good eye, Cobra.
Interesting. Yeah, I just like, yeah. Sucks that your Mercy wasn't really going on you. It was probably the right call to make anyways, to get your Mercy to combat faster, rather than you just jump there. But so far it's been actually your information gathering skills that's been bothering me. You've just been going on those points. You didn't really look at mid at all. Kind of just looked at the point. So just really quick. If the point's up here, and you kept on attacking from this way... I think I saw you look once or twice this way. Right? As far as I'm concerned, you had no idea that this part of the map existed. And the thing is I mean, we already talked about it last game, but here's the point. Right, here's the two buildings. You'll notice what a lot of teams do, and I know this is a solo queue, not a team event. But you kept on pushing through here. Now what most teams do is they come out here and push through here and all the way over here, and they push through everything at the same time. I know you're only one person, but spread out and attack from multiple angles. May would have been good. Okay, I mean, it's fine to do this, but I was thinking like going up and over, so you have shots that like you can put pressure on combat immediately. Trap usage. That Winston was coming in. I couldn't tell if that was allied or enemy. So right now you gotta back up more. I know you feel trapped, but you have to do something. Oh, if someone sees you, okay, you finally got healing. McCree's to your right. McCree, Winston. Yeah, that's where you want to use sound. If you know someone's right around the corner, it can be an easy pick for Junkrat. And then this is a bit of a wasted flank. You could have just walked forward. You can just you can just kill her from there. Tyre doesn't do that little damage. This has all been silent, but it's all been good damage. I think you could keep applying pressure where you were. Fine, okay, Mercy's dead. Yeah, I think all of that wasn't bad. Tyre was, once the McCree ulted, you probably didn't need to ult, but hey. Well, those in-call ones, Luna Boy, aren't heard by the enemy. But taunts are. Yeah, and as someone said in chat, if you arrive late, it's a wasted flank. That's what happens when you flank just as your team's attacking. If you flank at the exact same time, it's wasted. Because by the time you get to where you wanted to be to flank, the fight's already happened. Okay, that got your point clear. You're not doing too bad. You're pressing up a little bit, which it's mixed reviews right now.
My ultimate's ready. Oh, this is fire in the hole.
Stick it on a wall. Don't. So if you're moving it around all willy-nilly, they can hear where it's at. If a tire is on a wall, it's silent.
Heroes never die.
This is another case of someone just running up every time they have to fight something. Is this a common thing?
Score 1-1. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Oh, cheers.
Yeah, this is a... It's common. It's becoming more and more common. Interesting. That is a habit I didn't really notice.
5, 4.
For Junkrats, when being close range, increase accuracy. Yes, but you're increasing your ability to die.
I give it a 10.
I'm all about risk minimization. It's all about becoming more and more consistent as Junkrat. You're left, McCree, stunned. Oh shit, I thought he was gonna kill you right there. Yeah, there it is. So that's at that shitty range where, like, you have to make a decision, either back up or commit on the McCree. Just sitting in the middle there, you're going to die. Like, it's, and being, like, understanding when to go close range with Junkrat is a really good skill to have. It's just, if every fight you just kind of run at people, you're gonna die. Sometimes you won't, and you'll think, you're like, yeah, I did the right thing, but, that's rough.
My ultimate is charging.
Well, you helped get the Pharah killed. Here we go. Now this I like this point. You're in a lot better position. I would have sat right there though.
I'm capturing the objective. Justice reigns. Helden sterben nicht.
So, whenever you can find these flanks, so this is a really good example. People like to sit here, they like to look this way, and then they move this way. And that is what, as a Junkrat, you want more than anything in the world. You want to be stuck in these, essentially, self-created choke points. Like, people will put themselves in this small area and just run back and forth, and that's perfect. That's what Junkrat excels at, is damaging these choke points that, as you get better and better and better, you'll start finding them in more and more maps. And you'll be like, wow, this choke point no one really sees, but as a Junkrat, you do see it. So if you ever get in this position, don't be afraid of just sitting here and just fucking lobbing stuff and shutting down this entire area. It's cool to flank deeper and trying to get more kills that way. But yeah. Committing deeper is... Sometimes it's beneficial and it's safer, but a lot of times it's just detrimental and gets you killed. So, you needed to get out there. You just wasted 4 or 5 seconds not doing anything. Trap? Yeah, just avoid her. Just avoid her. Great. Perfect. Now, you may have not... I like those shots, because I know... It was one of those things where... A shot like that... It may have not been, like, on the Lucio, but... Oh, it's going to be tough for you guys to recover from. There you go. Oh, you got her! Oh, you needed to get on the point there. But it was a good attempt. I call McCree can kill 4 people and she eats 1 bullet. She's like, denied. It's like, I don't think that's how that works, Diva. Okay. So yeah, I see a lot of little flanks that you're kind of just constantly going on and not attacking. It's cool if your team's holding a choke point. Oh, we'll have to do it over here. So it's cool if your team was holding this choke point on that map. It goes like this, and there's that door over there. Right? If your team's holding right here, cool. Go ahead and go flank. But if your team's fighting out here, like, get out there and start shooting. Because what you did is you went this way, and then you turned away and went this way. So it took from point X to point Y before you... point X to point Y before you started shooting again. Which is like 3-4 seconds. And the team was fighting in a choke point, so it was like, oh man, that's like perfectly when you want to fight. I have some trouble engaging at the first fight on of this map as Bastion. As a Bastion? Man, that's tough. I mean, stay behind your team, stay in recon, see what you can get, and then bust into sentry mode. That'd be my guess. Unless you're with your team 100%, you're like, alright guys, go here, I'm going to set up in sentry and we're going to kill some... Or recon... Yeah, sentry in. We're going to kill some people. See, it's cool that you're holding these flanks, and like right there you got a good kill. But they don't have to engage on you that deep, and that's the problem. So the tanks did, but the rest of the supports didn't. Or the DPS and the supports didn't. So you're at a very tough disadvantage. Okay, we're gonna flank. See what happens. Oh, you can... I was gonna say you had an easy couple more shots than that Winston. He came. The Winston came with you. When anything gets boosted with you, it'll go the same trajectory as you are. So they're quite actually easy shots. Gotta throw a trap. Good. But again, a lot of time flanking. After all that struggling. Yeah, it's one of those times where it's like, alright. They give any position tips for McCree? McCree's the same as, like, every other DPS. So you want to be behind the tanks. I would prefer a little bit to the left or to the right. And I'm not saying a flank, but a little bit left or the right of the tanks. Depending on the map, he can do really good close range because flashbanging around corners. Oh, did Farah just ruin everyone else's day? Oh, she did. It's the way the cookie crumbles. It's the way the cookie crumbles. So, your review. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Crap more. As always. Crap. That was crap. Writing trap. Here we go. So accuracy for your skill level, I think, is around the mark of where you're at. Like, I think you're fine. And you have that same issue everyone else does of running at your target. These are like the three things I want to talk about. One, oh, also, yeah, you got some information issues too. I think your accuracy is fine at your skill level, but you're running at your target a lot. You want to kind of break that habit. It's okay to run at your target sometimes, but you shouldn't be doing every battle like that. Part about playing and learning a hero is playing and learning where they're weak at and still, like, being able to play them at that range. Right, so Junkrat's weakest range is mid-range. It's at that range when people can actively dodge his shots. His concussive mine can get to people, but it takes a little bit longer, so it's not like... If you get surprised, a soldier or a McCree or even Mei or any DPS character is going to kill you, concussive mine takes 2 seconds to get to him, and then they can put you down before that even gets to him. So, getting good at mid-range is essentially the key characteristics of Junkrat. You kind of negate that right now by just running at the target, which I get. It's higher accuracy, it does that stuff, but you need to understand how to play at mid and long range. You overflank a lot. Whenever your team's engaged in, like, a fight, like, they're fighting on this point right there, and you'll just go, oh, I'll flank, and that flank takes too long. Remember, flanking takes the most expensive resource in the game, which is time. Think about yourself before you flank. You're like, even if I get a better position in 6 seconds, what situation will my team be in? It's probably best if I just get into this fight right now and start fighting. Even if it is, quote-unquote, an inferior position to the flank. Which I wouldn't consider that. Sometimes attacking straight on with your team is the best move. In fact, it's often the best move. Yeah, the overflanking is actually that's one of the big things you're doing. Trap more. Every time you're up, if you ever press forward, if you're going to retreat, the first thing you should do before hitting the back button is hitting the trap button. So if you ever push forward and then you roll back, trap at that apex. Information. So, on a couple maps, it looked like you weren't even looking at the enemy team. You were just kind of doing something. It's the first map that it really stuck out to me, where you kept on looking at the point. You would attack this way, and you just look at the point, and then you just run on the point, and that's all you did the entire game. You didn't look at this option, or going up the flank and going up this option. Like, you didn't try any of these options. So, one, understand where your team's at and what they're doing. That was one of the things when you ulted. You kind of solo ulted in the wrong way. And by that, I mean, like, you solo ulted when you were alone. Now, ulted, like using an ultimate on one person, fucking great. Do that all the time, right? Make it a 5v6. If every fight was a 5v6, your team has such an advantage of winning. But solo ult in that respect is what you were doing is you were alone and you would get a kill, but it doesn't matter because you were alone. They'd kill you, and then it would be a 5v5, and you guys would get back to combat at the same time. So be wary of that. Maybe you're going for like some amazing play, like a 4-kill tire, and then your team could just walk in and take the point easy peasy. But definitely, just, I don't know how to say it. Maybe it's a bit of tunnel vision, maybe it's a bit of something else. I'm trying to think. Trying to think of how to explain it. But yeah, it's just like knowing where the teams are at. Because like you would just look at the point and you're like, I bet everyone's in there. And there's just 2 supports. And yeah, if you get them, that's cool, but the rest of your team was dying. Also, it's funny, I tell you all these different ways, and I'm like, don't flank, but then look at this drawing. I'm telling you to flank a little bit. Because it has to do with timing. Don't flank when your team's already engaged, is basically what I'm trying to say. That's the blunt way to put it. But if you're attacking and your team's kind of like here, and you understand that from the time they get to here to the time they get to here, you can easily be here and keep on pressure the whole time, that's an okay flank. That would be acceptable. But, there's just, yeah. You're just making moves without proper knowledge is my biggest thing. The ledge you're having, that what I said for your review too? It's probably a constant reminder, or constant thing that everyone really has an issue with. Overflanking, yeah, I can definitely see that being a big issue. And running at the target, I didn't realize how many people were having this issue, but yeah, that's a huge one. Both of these affect your positioning dramatically. Knowing where your team and your enemies are at, that's, I mean, you have to know that. You could do the greatest flank ever, but if it's based on the wrong information, it's shit. I think that's where I can leave you out with that. If I need you to work on one thing, man, it's actually these 2. And I say that because I think they're the easiest things to fix. Because if you start paying attention to where your team is at, it helps in the long run, but in the short run, you're like, all right, but what do I do with this information? But you can easily fix these 2 things just by decision making. And so let's pick the low hanging fruit this time. You claimed 300 while you worked on those things. Cool. So should I focus on knowing where my team's at before overflanking and vice versa, or both at the same time? Both of those things are taught together. When and where you flank is highly dependent on where your team is at. So yeah. Yeah, Keno. They worked in tandem. In tandem, I should say. Tangent. No, not tangent. Tandem. That was the right word. Do you have any other questions, Keno? Oh, my chat disconnected. Sorry about that. The last thing I saw was the choo-choo train. He says, I had trouble managing my abilities. I don't realize when something is or isn't on cooldown. That's part about learning a class. It's like reload times and cooldowns. You just kind of gotta internalize what 8 seconds is. 8 seconds is a really important number to have in Overwatch. To just internalize that. 4 and 8 seconds. So Chro is Sombra. Made a lot of shitty decisions because I got anxious and stressed. How do I avoid that? Don't get anxious or stressed. How? Expert advice. So the biggest thing about being anxious and stressed is you kind of have to desensitize yourself to a point, and that usually comes through playing a lot. Playing more and more and more, and kind of because the thing is how I desensitize myself to stuff like that in real life and anything else is just by doing it more. Like, don't like talking in front of people? Get up, talk in front of people. Keep doing it. It'll help out eventually. But maybe you're having an issue just like maybe you're valuing SR way too much. And it's this loss of SR that's really like just crushing your soul. So there's yeah, that maybe just understanding yourself that maybe it's okay to fuck up. Like that's something that stops a lot of people. They're too afraid to make a mistake. Unlike me, where I love fucking up. I'm more than happy to make a mistake and learn from it. I have no problems with that. Austin, tips on positioning and trap placement. Just watch through. Like just go through some of my Junkrat reviews. You have an irrational fear of fucking up. Well, then start fucking up. It's okay. It's okay to fuck up. Like you have to lose to get better. You have to fail to get better. A man that makes no mistakes learns nothing. It's actually vitally important for you to get over the fear about messing up. In life and in Overwatch, you have to get over that. And that is a big mental issue that most people don't get over. I don't know. You have to forever believe that you're a student and be willing to learn from your mistakes. And as an adult, it's actually really difficult for some people to do that. Once you get like 22, 23, a lot of people, they want to get out of that. They want to get out of that, like, I'm an adult now. I don't make mistakes. Blah, blah, blah. I'm an adult. And it's like, no, man, you need to keep that student mentality where you're like, all right, I'm gonna learn today. I'm going to fuck up. And it's okay, because I'm still learning. Any other questions, Keno? I mean, it sounds like you have a lot of mental issues. Not like in a bad, not like you're fucking crazy, but like it's funny. A lot of people think it's like their mechanics or yada 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 or X or Y or Z, but a lot of people actually have a lot of issues just internally in their own head, and getting over those will just make you better at a lot of things in life. I deal with fair mercy when your team doesn't notice them. Kill them yourself. Right? That's your only decision. If you say, hey, how can I take a fair mercy out by myself? Is what you're asking me. The answer to that is to shoot them. Hey, Buffett. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You see, it's a good thing you're saying. But with that, let me get some water, and I will move on to the next review.